Good evening, President Manuel, Provost Gaynor, Dean Thomas, distinguished faculty, families, friends, and most importantly, my fellow graduates. What an amazing moment right now. However, I imagine for my son who's in the audience, he's thinking to himself, I have to sit through another one of my mom's speeches. He's a teenager, he gets a lot of speeches. We are the class that earned our degree during unprecedented upheaval. We watched algorithms reshape democracy in real time. We saw artificial intelligence leap from science fiction to reshape every profession we're entering. The world didn't wait for us to finish our degrees before demanding we help fix it. And here's what makes us different. We didn't just study these changes from a distance, we lived them. The traditional student fresh from high school sat alongside the career changer navigating industry collapse. At DePaul, in the heart of this city, we didn't have the luxury of theory without practice. Chicago was our laboratory. I started this journey as a high school dropout from the south side of Chicago, a single mother who thought academia wasn't built for people like me. I was right, it wasn't. But we didn't let that stop us. Every non-traditional student in this room, every first-generation scholar, every person who studied while working full-time or raising children or caring for family, you didn't just earn a degree. You expanded what higher education could be. But let me tell you what this journey really taught me, something I only fully understood this past Good Friday, the day before my 35th birthday. For some of us, it takes a little longer for life lessons to land. We didn't get enough speeches. For years, I carried the weight of needing to prove I belonged. I needed to be ready, to be perfect, to earn my place at tables where people like me weren't expected. I lived in what the Vincentian tradition called a zone of purity, that carefully constructed space where our ideals remain unchallenged by the messiness of actual human lives. Then DePaul's mission violated that zone. It placed me in spaces where economic realities I'd always known became conversations I had to navigate. It asked me to articulate experience of struggle in settings where those realities felt distant. It demanded I become comfortable being uncomfortable. And here's what I learned. Worthiness doesn't require readiness. Grace doesn't attach conditions. You are whole right now. Not when you achieved enough, not when you've proven yourself enough, not when you become the sanitized version of yourself that makes others comfortable. This past Good Friday, I reflected on something profound. Every chapter must close before another begins. Some of you might find it sobering. I find it liberating. Because here's the uncomfortable truth about the world we're entering. It's designed to capture you through your attachments, your need to be remembered, your desire for security, your fear of not mattering. The systems we're inheriting will use those attachments against you, will convince you to compromise your values for the illusion of permanence. But if you learn to let go repeatedly, to release ego, to surrender the need for recognition, to stop clinging to the outdated versions of yourself, you become ungraspable. You become dangerous in the best possible way. The world needs emerging leaders who understand disruption isn't something to fear, it's the environment we're trained to navigate. We are the generation that learned to pivot mid-quarter when reality shifted. We refuse to accept that's how it's always been done as sufficient answers. They need us to take the reign because we see what they can't. That sustainable solutions require voices from every neighborhood. that ethical innovation demands diverse perspectives, that transformational change happens when people who were told they didn't belong insist on reshaping the spaces that excluded them. But here's my challenge to you. Don't let your degree become another attachment. Don't let DePaul graduate become a fixed identity you defend rather than a chapter you've completed. Don't spend the next 40 years trying to prove you belonged here. You belonged here. You belong in every room you enter next, not because you've earned it through suffering or achievement, but because you are whole exactly as you are, imperfect, complex, carrying both light and shadow. Your degree isn't just a credential, it's a responsibility. The communities we come from, the ones that invested in our success, even when resources were scarce, they're counting on us. The students coming after us, wondering if people like them belong in spaces like this, they're watching. So as we leave here tonight, I invite you into something uncomfortable, the practice of continual transformation. Let go of who you thought you needed to become. Release the version of success you've been chasing. Surrender the ego that needs external validation. And then get to work building something new. The world is chaotic and demanding and occasionally terrifying. It's also ours to reshape, not by clinging to what we know, but remaining willing to transform again and again. We are DePaul, we are Chicago. We don't wait for permission to lead, and we don't wait to be ready to claim our wholeness. Let's get to work. Congratulations, class of 2026.